Be ready. 5 seconds. Mr. Chairman, Sir, I have the privilege of speaking to this august House for a second time today, and I would say that it is a particularly satisfying day in Parliament because twice I have seen that there is unanimity in the House on a foreign policy matter. Earlier in the day, I said that foreign policy should be a subject for maximum consensus. I am so glad that people are moving in that direction, and the support that I have had from every member who has participated. There were totally 21 members who spoke on this bill, is indeed something which is very heartening. It is also natural that there will be questions, there will be concerns, clarifications sought, and naturally, when any bill is tabled, it is the obligation of the minister moving it to provide it. Mr. Speaker, Sir, what is it today that we are trying to do through this bill? We are upgrading a law which is 17 years old, which, like many other legislations, clearly needs updating, and updating laws and terminating antiquated rules are both part of good governance. So, today is an exercise in one way of good governance. Now, to understand this particular bill, I would take you back to a legislation which was passed by this House in 1947, which is called the United Nations Security Council Act. The Act essentially obligates us that the central government will apply any measures not involving the use of armed forces which will give effect to any decision of the Security Council. So, we have made a commitment as a part of our foreign policy at the very start of our independence. We are good members of the UN, and therefore, if there is a UN Security Council resolution which requires action, we will implement it. What they did not do at that time in Resolution 1540 was to specifically refer to finance. So, when we moved this legislation in 2005, we took our provisions from the Security Council resolution. Since then, the importance of finance has increased. Some members have raised this issue whether finance was implicit in it. I will address that particular issue. This has been the subject of a comment of the FATF. Now, all honorable members will understand the importance of FATF. Today, The FATF evaluates whether countries are responsible in terms of their financial policy. We have seen countries who have done things, who have followed policies and actions which are not right, brought to account. There are very significant consequences of that. I think most members are familiar with the countries involved. Some of them are very close to us. The FATF has a recommendation number 7, which says that countries should implement targeted financial action to comply with Security Council resolution, and that they should freeze without delay funds and assets and ensure no funds and assets are made available directly or indirectly to any person or entity dealing with WMD. So it is this process, our initial obligation, the 1540 resolution, the 2005 legislation we passed, which today in the light of FATF deliberations and our own security and our international obligation and the importance of finance to this, which is causing us to come to you with this amendment. Now, some specific issues were raised. I will deal with them very quickly. I think Uttam Reddy ji, who was the first speaker, brought up the issue that we are referring to persons. We are not referring to entities. Now, I would like to inform him, through you, sir, that under the General Clauses Act 1897, persons is defined to include any company or association or body of individuals, whether incorporated or not, and it covers entities, companies and organizations, and that the original act which we are amending today also uses persons in view of this. I think Premachandran ji later on in his remarks recognized this. The second issue which came up was this: what is the necessity for this? Can it not be done under the current legislation? Why do we have to take the trouble of amending it? Many other countries have specific legislation. Switzerland has Switzerland War Material Act. Germany has Germany's Foreign Trade and Payments Act. So, there are many examples because FATF and the current requirements need a very specific reference to financing. What were we doing till now? Till now, we were issuing notifications under the United Nations Security Council Act 1947. What would we do? This would relate to financial measures. Our notifications are implemented by the Reserve Bank of India and other involved government bodies. They would advise banks and they would do the monitoring, following the orders which MEA would regularly bring out. Our effort today is to give legislative backing so that this is not a one-by-one ad hoc measure,